filing a complaint with the Attorney General of the United States about this county administration and public housing authority not following their oath of office, not protecting renters from retaliatory evictions, not following the contracts they signed to secure funding from HUD, and all of the other stuff that's going on with the Montgomery County Administration and Public Housing Authority.
Thank you for calling the office of State Representative Desiree Tex, representing Ohio's 30th District. We're sorry to miss your call. Please leave a voicemail and our office will return your call as soon as possible. You can also be reached via email at rep38@ohiohouse.gov. Thank you and have a great day. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, Miss Timms. My name is Donald Faulkner, and this is like the 5th time I've tried to get in touch with you about a dangerous situation that the Public Housing Authority in your district and the local county commission in your district is putting upon your voters by not following the law. They're evicting your constituents are getting evicted even though their rent is paid in full because no one is following state and federal laws, no one is following federal regulations when it comes to evictions, and this has to stop. This has to stop. Serious issue going on here with the Public Housing Authority and the Montgomery County Commissioners, the administration in Dayton, Ohio. No one in the Public Housing Authority or the Montgomery County administration are following state or federal laws or federal regulations when it comes to public housing. Well, for one thing, they don't. I'm personally responsible for their reducing this public speaking time on their public access commission meetings from 15 minutes down to 3. They don't want anyone opposing their criminality. Okay, here's the deal. During the pandemic, there's a part of the contract that the Public Housing Authority signs with HUD involves following their oath of office and enforcing state and federal laws. Okay, I went through 3 evictions where my rent was paid in full, and they were retaliatory evictions that everyone was aware of. The law says that very plainly in Ohio Revised Code, retaliatory evictions and activity are against the law. Okay, so They're not following the law. They're not. During the pandemic, I got evicted at the very beginning of the pandemic, and my rent was paid in full. Everyone knew that. Nobody did anything about it. And the same thing happened with the next landlord. The property failed. The inspection, the Public Housing Authority does an inspection after a year, and when the property fails, they give the landlord 30 days to fix bring the apartment into compliance with the property. And when they fail, the Public Housing Authority abates their portion of the payment. Well, I kept my portion of the payment up to date, and the landlord filed for a non-payment of rent, eviction, and I went to court and got evicted, even though my portion of the rent under Federal Regulation 24 CFR 983.353, my obligations were met. And they knew I was going to court. They knew exactly what was going on, and they let me go to court and be evicted again, even though in violation of federal regulation and state and federal law. And this is not just happening to me. This is happening to families, and I'm a disabled veteran. There's no reason in the world I should be getting thrown in the street when my rent is paid in full.
Yeah, so they said that the cause for eviction was non-payment.
Yeah.
And
listen, the judge, the municipal judge Pierges out in New Lebanon, actually let the landlord attempt to hand me my rent check back in to me in court, which proved my case. It proved my case beyond a shadow of a doubt right there. They're not following the law, and the county commissioners, they know this. I've gone down there last year. I went down there to the county commission meeting. I was 2 days before being evicted, and I got up there and I spoke to them, and they invited me to stay till the end of the county commission meeting, and they would give me some help. So I talked to one of Judy Dodge's, I don't know what you would call her, but somebody that helps her, and she promised, oh, we're gonna look at this, we're gonna bullshit. They never called. They let me go to court. I'd gone through 200 days of retaliation by a landlord threatening me because I've refused. Here's what happened. They were trying to do a bed bug treatment scam at this address, and I caught them. They had to refund these two veterans that they had charged $500. They charged these veterans $500 to treat their apartment, and they were trying to get me in on that. And I'm no, you guys aren't doing the treatments right. When you have 18 apartments, you don't do one apartment at a time and then chase the bugs around and charge everybody $500. So because they had to refund that money, they did a non-stop 200 days of retaliation, which the county administration knew, the public housing people knew, the people at the Dayton VA HUD bash all knew exactly what was going on, and nobody did a damn thing to help me. And I got thrown in the streets on January 10th of 2025, and it was below freezing for 60 days. I lived in my truck, and they wouldn't give me water. They wouldn't give me the things that they give dogs at the animal shelter. They let me go through every bit of that by myself, and I've lost so much. I've lost so many things because I had to sell my motorcycle, a $26,000 motorcycle that I bought. I financed, and I had to sell it for pennies just so I could eat while I was out there freezing my butt off. This is going to stop. This has to stop. These people, right now, the Public Housing Authority is they're doing such unbelievable. They're working with my landlord. I caught them working with my current landlord after I asked them to stop. I demanded that she stopped. The CEO of the Public Housing Authority is negotiating with my landlord, and my rent is overpaid right now. I'm somewhere around $600 overpaid, and she's uh, saying that I owe him money, and I mean it's just this is going to stop. This is going to stop. I'm filed police reports and Federal Trade Commission, Federal Communication Commission. I've filed a complaint with everyone you can imagine over this, and I'm not going to be pushed around by these people anymore. I go down there to the county commission meeting on my birthday, July 14th, and they couldn't wait for the 3 minutes to be up. And they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear about what their policies and their ignoring the law is doing to their voters and your voters. They shut me. Okay, go ahead.
I can reach out to the Department of Housing. You have our contact at Congressman Turner's office. Anything through the Federal Department of Housing would have to through your congressperson, but I think if you reach out to
Right.
our contact.
I've already contacted Mr. Turner and never heard anything back. I never heard anything back from him. So, anyways, now I've contacted you guys and finally got somebody on the phone. So, who knows? But I'm going to tell you right now, it is not. I'm not going to stop until this unlawful activity is shut down, and I'm made full again. These people have put me through cruel and unusual punishment that's beyond belief.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'd be happy to reach out to Congressman Turner's office on your behalf. Unfortunately, the Federal Housing Authority is not under our jurisdiction since we're operating out of the state government here.
Right.
I would be happy to reach out to Congressman Turner.
But you're the state government, and all right, whatever. Yeah. It's your voters who are being thrown in the street, so you do what you want to do. I'm making all of this public, every bit of it. I'm going to make it public all day, every day, until somebody steps up to the plate and shuts this criminal activity down. There's no reason for veterans and families and children to be thrown in the street because nobody wants to uphold the law. You know, Mr. Blackshear can either worry about the voters, all the voting laws and all that stuff, or he can worry about having voters, period. He can be a hero or a zero. I don't really care. Because I'm tired of this. I will not get evicted again like this. I mean, you guys are going to shut the door on this criminal activity, or I'm going to shut the door myself. And I'm going to show everybody who could have done something about it, did nothing.
Well, like I said, I'd be happy to reach out to Congressman Turner's
office. There you go.
If that would be helpful.
Go ahead. You'll see. You'll see how far that goes. I mean, I've already been through it with Congressman Turner's office. They treat veterans like garbage. And I'll tell him that.
Could you repeat your name for my record here?
Donald Faulkner.